let's see if the audio is actually going to come through on this. I'm not sure if it will, but if it is, let me know if you guys can hear it. All right. Okay. So, hey, well, it's nice to see you. I've got you guys. So I'm actually streaming to 2 different services at the same time tonight. So this is a little new for me. So I'm just gonna ask for a little bit of patience. Um, I've got Twitch on one and YouTube on the other. Because I've wanted to do this for a long time where I can actually do both and show people and talk to people at the same time and not have to be just restricted to one specific platform. So I'm also going to do my makeup and kind of get ready. I don't have anything in particular I'm getting ready for. I'm just doing it because I want to, and a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you do your makeup? What do you recommend? What are some of the things that you use? Types of products? What are some of the techniques you swear by versus the ones you don't swear by? So I'm going to kind of go over that. I'm also going to give you guys a yearly update. I'm going to talk about the progress of how my transition's been going. I'm going to talk about my roadmap or where things are going over the next year and what my plans are. I'm also going to talk about relationships and some of the things that I've experienced over the last year. And I'll be watching your guys' chats on the left end of my screen over here to over here. So if there's something you want to ask me or you feel compelled because it seems like a question that's been on your mind, don't hesitate to write in the chat either in my YouTube or in my Twitch. If you like what you're watching too, make sure you hit the subscribe, like, and follow of the respective platform that I'm on. I truly do appreciate it. We do have moderators in both channels, so please be mindful of some of the comments that you may say if somebody asks a question or some of the information you may see, because not everybody may feel the same way that you do. And I gracefully respect your opinion or respect your guys' thoughts. Yes, I am aware. Now my Twitch command just told me my merch doesn't exist. Yes, I'm aware. I need to fix that. Anywho, hopefully my audio is okay. If it's not, I'll turn it up a little bit so that way you guys can see it. But I'm going to kind of just go through and do some of my makeup and chit-chat with you guys and talk about some of the things that are going on. Just recently I hit the 3 going into my 4th year mark in my transition. Has been a roller coaster to say the least. This last year has had the most physical changes for me. Hey DBH, it's nice to see you. Yeah, I know I haven't been in on the channel for Tyler in a long time. I know that. I will get back on here sometime soon. I promise you. It's not that I don't want to. It's just it's been a long 3 or 4 months. I did pop in one day and I did say hi to him, and I did true Sophia fashion as I like to do it. I did gift something like 25 subs or something like that day, but you know, I just gotta do what I do, and I had to go handle life, and sometimes that comes around and you have to just do it. But like I was saying, the last year has been the most physically changing for me. My hair's growing out massively. I've lost a little bit more weight, which I'm not complaining about. I've had some body developments that I really wasn't expecting. Not that it wasn't welcome, it was just one of those things that you've heard through other people's journeys and other people's, how do you say it? Their documentation or their documentary about how their transition has really progressed. And you look back in the mirror and you think to yourself, well, I hope that comes in time for me. And what's a good time frame? Should I expect this or should I expect this? And it's a daunting thing, especially for people with dysphoria when it comes to their body and being in a gender that they were born at birth with that can be very daunting and emotionally depressive. And I can relate to that. So, as this year turned around, there was a lot of different changes. There were a lot of different pieces to the puzzle that I did not expect. And I have witnessed firsthand just some of those amazing changes that have been in my life. And I am very, very thankful and very, very blessed. I've lost weight in certain sections of my body and gained, I don't know how to say it. Tissue has moved around, we'll say, for a lack of a better word. However, it's definitely been rewarding. It's nice to finally wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and feel that I belong in my body. And for a lot of people, they don't understand that. And I really don't know what to tell you other than dysphoria plagues us all on some kind of level. And it adds to a level of depression that many people can't deal with. So for those of you who are out there that have mental health issues and you need people to lean on, I encourage you to find support from the people that are close to you, from the family that you call that's not your blood or your biological, because sometimes that, how do I say it? That bond of that family is sometimes stronger than your blood family. I'm just going to prep my face here a little bit because I wanted to do my makeup and do this with you guys. But you just have to remember that, more importantly, the support that you get from those around you is sometimes so critical. I personally wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't been for a lot of the people who are close to me in my non-blood formed family. I've had a lot of great support from my blood family, don't get me wrong. However, they're a long ways away, except for some of the really, really close ones, which, if they're watching, they know who I'm talking about. And I do care about them very deeply. And that's another story for another day. The one, and I apologize for saying and so much. It's different when you're on camera and you're doing live. People don't realize that you have to articulate at a level that allows people to not feel like you're stumbling over your words or you're stumbling over your sentences or your thoughts. Or getting lost at that matter too. So for me, I just try to make sure that I'm not lost in translation with what I'm trying to tell you versus what's going on in my head. Despite the fact that it's going at 1,000,000 miles a minute. There I go again. My headspace is ridiculously fast. It ADHDs between topics from left to right at a breakneck speed. Do I really appreciate it? No. Sometimes I would rather get rid of my brain and get rid of the whole thought process of why do I have to constantly question things or be distracted by things that just don't make any sense. More importantly, have no relevance to whatever I'm doing at that moment. But for some strange reason, my brain thinks that that's what's important at that moment, and I sidetrack to it, and that's what I do. It is what it is. Job is still the same. Don't have any changes in that. I've kind of stopped doing gaming and streaming with games, and it's not that I don't like doing it, it's very daunting. My hat goes off to a few of the content creators that I've watched, more importantly, recently. Their abilities and their talent to do that, man, I tell you what, to be able to put in that kind of dedicated hard work is ridiculously daunting, even in my head, because I had to do it for a little while, and I couldn't think to myself, oh, how am I going to do this? Or how am I going to push this content? How many days am I going to do it? And I just got so much that I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So, I decided to stop and focus my energy on doing stuff like this, where people want to see what makeup is like and what I do for my daily, or what I do for something a little bit more passe. And today I really feel like grotesque, but I've got sleep, so I guess that counts for something somewhere. So I'm just going to draw this on my face. What I'm using, just so everybody's aware, is Too Faced's Born This Way concealer. And I'm using the shade Cream Puff. I'll link all of it down below in the YouTube video after this is done. It's one of my favorite concealers. I'm going to put it on first, primarily because I want to create a base level canvas on my eyes to allow the primer that I'm going to put on in a minute. I'm going to just wet my beauty blender and I'm going to blend this out and make it go as smooth as possible with my skin. What does my roadmap look like is a question I've had asked multiple different times. Well, how do I say this? I'm in the stage right now where making conscious decisions about surgeries are a hot topic right now. It is a very common topic. Yeah, DBH, I wonder. Nightbot seems to have issues. I'm going to have to go in and fix that one of these days. Nightbot, I think, is on its own little drug and doesn't know what's going on. More importantly, I'm going to have a sit-down talk with Nightbot and figure out why he wants to act up. But I get that question a lot. Like, what surgeries are you going to have? Are you going to do facial feminization? Are you going to do things like an orchiectomy? Or are you going to do the one where you do your Adam's apple shave and stuff? I don't know. Let me finish this and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So, oh my goodness, I love this concealer. It just makes my face look so clean. One of the reasons why I use Too Faced's concealer is this is by far one of the greatest products on the planet when it comes to lightweight. Full coverage, very, very effective, very, very efficient. I feel like my light is really, really shitty right now. I don't know what's the deal here. Maybe that's better. Yeah, it's not as bright now. But it's screwing up that, so let's turn it up a little. Did that just wash me out like crazy? Hey, Chance, nice to see you. I think that just washed me out and made me look like a ghost. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I feel like that's just washing me out something crazy right now. So we're just gonna turn that down a smidge. I can do it without it being that bright. DVH pale gang. I know, for real. So somebody asked a question. No, what the F is an orchiectomy? Oh my god. Do I really want to go into that conversation here on camera? That's the question. I'll entertain it. I know that it washes me out. I don't know why. It's just my ring light. I don't know why it's being such a turd. I can't turn it down any more than that. Maybe I can turn it right there. But then I lose my clarity of what I can see in my mirror. So for those of you who are watching, like, I can only see so much in my mirror, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to turn it up like that and just leave it, and then step back here and let the camera do its thing. I don't give a shit. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but whatever. Anywho, other surgeries. No. Does that mean that anybody else who has this journey shouldn't be going through their through having a surgery? No, I don't justify and sit back and say that any one person versus another person should or should not have a surgery. If that's what you want to do and that's what makes you happy and feel like you're in your place for being in your gender and it confirms your identity, then by all means do it. But don't sit back and let the rest of society dictate what makes you feel more aligned in your gender or more aligned in your body. It's your choice, not theirs. So don't make choices based on what everybody else in society tells you to. This isn't about being conforming. This is about you discovering yourself and finally finding a cause to finally feel happy and inspire others with your happiness. Be positive, not rely on being a follower. A lot of people don't understand that concept. And that's one of the reasons why I want to get that question all the time, like, what surgery are you going to do? And I'm like, that's my business. I'm not trying to tell you no, but hate to tell you this, but whatever I choose to do is my choice, not yours. By the way, I'm going to actually set powder my eyes right now, because when I go to put my other primer on there, I want it to have a better canvas and a little bit brighter so that the color stays. So I'm going to set it with some Laura Mercier translucent set powder. I love this stuff more than I can tell you. I know that that's a beauty makeup faux pas. I basically took a fully dry beauty blender and I just dipped it in dry powder. I know, call the makeup gods down and have them assassinate me right now, because you're not supposed to do this. But a good makeup artist told me when I was out in New York that this method is flawless for making sure your concealer does not crease, and it gives your eyeshadow that look that stays sharp for 8 hours. So yeah. Back to the topic at hand. Somebody was asking, what is an orchiectomy? How do I say this? Alright. We're going to use fruit in today's medical lesson. For those of you who do not know what an orchiectomy is, we are going to refer to an apple tree. And we are going to say that said apple tree has a branch with 2 apples hanging on it, for lack of a better word. You'll take my analogy as I get closer to what I'm talking about. During a vasectomy in the medical world, it is a... how do I say this? In the medical world, when a male gets a vasectomy, they usually just go in and snip, or they laser it off and they trim it back so that that person doesn't have to worry about being involved in pregnancy in any shape or form when it comes to their significant other, whether that's their wife, their girlfriend, their spouse, whatever you want to call it. And that's normal in a vasectomy. But sometimes, for extreme measure, to prevent this, rather than putting the female through this procedure of having to have a hysterectomy, which is a very, very, very intrusive surgery. And a lot of women, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to do that either. It's not something that I feel like I would ever want to ask somebody to do. Not in a million years. That's just my personal opinion. But during the latter part of a vasectomy, one of the things that a male can opt for is an orchiectomy. And what that is they basically take the 2 apples away from the tree. Pretty simple. Rather than taking and just trimming, say, going into the branch and taking away a few things, like you would in a vasectomy, you get to trim the apples away too. Now, in transgender world, that's a really important part too, because what that does is that allows for no testosterone to be in the body at any one point in time. And a lot of transgender women will do that. They'll have an orchiectomy, so that way that they can prep themselves precursorily to having a vaginoplasty or an inversion technique. For those of you who are wondering what I'm putting on right now, this is called P. Louise Base. This is like an eye primer by P. Louise, and I'm using the shade number 2. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a lighter, whiter overcoat for the top canvas of my eyeshadow. And what that'll do is that will allow the eyeshadow to look more vibrant and have a better finished look. So I'm just adding a little bit of this on there, and yes, it's over top of my powder, which is fine because that set powder is already set, and now my eyes are a nice, clean, even, bright canvas for the eyeshadow. Alright, I'm going to let that set for a second. I am going to go ahead and kind of add a little bit of set powder on there, just because I don't want that to crease while I'm doing my eyeshadow look. Anyhow, what does it mean for Chance got new internet. Woo! But you're still playing that shitty ass game that everybody rages on and all the 9-year-olds play, am I right? I'm not trying to knock you, Chance. I know you love playing that game. I enjoy playing with you guys. I just suck at it. Seem to interest myself in other games right now. Which is really not anything other than the new Breakpoint, which I did get that, and I kind of like it. It's kind of dope. I've got a couple different mods in here, by the way. Chance moving over to Valorant. If you want to add commands, for those of you who are out there that are my moderators, you would want to go to Nightbot and learn how to do the add command. I believe it's exclamation point add and then space, the name of the command. I think it would look like this. It would go add command Sophia, she's just doing her thing. It would be something like that, but you can look it up on the Nightbot pen. Hey Alex! And there goes the microphone and everything else. Fantastic.